Welcome to all of you. My name is Dr. Neha Desai from Department of Chemistry, RBNB College, Srirampur. Now I am going to deliver my fourth lecture related to the HPLC instrumentation topic from the paper number CHA 392 of the analytical chemistry. So in the last lecture we have discussed about the different types of detectors which are used in HPLC. So in that detector, refractive index detector, light scattering detector, photodiode type of detector, these are the different detectors that we have studied in HPLC. Now in this topic or in this lecture we will study the different types of pumps or a pumping system which is used in the HPLC. So as all of you know that HPLC, as the name indicates, that is high performance liquid chromatography, which is earlier known as the high pressure liquid chromatography. So the use of high pressure pump is the main function or the main characteristic feature of the HPLC technique. So the olden days where we are dealing with the LC, that is liquid chromatography, this liquid chromatography is replaced by the HPLC technique by the use of different types of pump. What is the function of this pump? To apply the high pressure is the main function of the pump. Why this system is applying the high pressure? In the olden days, whenever we are dealing with the liquid chromatography, the separation of the component takes place, but it takes place at a very slower rate. So in order to increase the rate of a reaction or in order to carry out the analysis at a faster rate, we are using the high pressure pumps. So by using the high pressure pump, you are increasing the rate and you are decreasing the time required for the analysis by using the HPLC technique. Now all of you know that in case of HPLC technique we are using very long and very narrow type of column. As compared to our gas chromatography technique, in HPLC very long and very narrow type of columns are used. As a result of this, there is resistance to the normal flow of a solvent through the column. So there is very high resistance to normal flow of a solvent. As there is a very high resistance to the normal flow of a solvent, it is necessary to use the pump. What the pump does, it applies the high pressure on the solvent so that it can normally flow through the HPLC column. Now, this is the purpose why we are using the different types of pumps in HPLC. In case of HPLC, basically there are 5 types of different pumps are used. The first one is the constant pressure pump, the second one is the constant displacement pump, third one is the reciprocating pump, the fourth one is the pneumatic pump, and the fifth one is the syringe pump. So we will discuss each type of pump one by one. So the first type of pump is the constant pressure pump. As the name indicates, the constant pressure pump, it provides or it applies the constant pressure over the HPLC column. So in this kind of pump, it produces a pulseless flow. It produces a pulseless flow by applying the constant pressure. Now what it does, it forces the gas to pass the solvent very smoothly through the chromatographic column. That is, it applies the high pressure. This high pressure is applied over the gas and it forces the gas to pass inside the chamber, that is inside the pump chamber. And by forcing the gas to pass inside the pump chamber, which will help for the normal flow of a solvent through the column. So the constant pressure pump here, it produces a pulseless flow of a solvent. The pulseless flow of a solvent is produced as a result of the application of a constant pressure. By applying the constant pressure, a continuous flow of a solvent is produced. For that purpose, it applies a constant high pressure over the gas and it forces the gas to pass inside the pump chamber. As a result of this, you obtain the continuous flow of a eluting solvent by using the constant pressure pump. Then the next type of pump that we are going to study, that is constant displacement pump. So constant displacement pump is the second type of pump which is normally used in HPLC. If you compare all the 5 types of pump, then in that case constant pressure pump and constant displacement pump, these two types are most widely used as compared to the other types of pumps. So in case of constant displacement pump, what happens? The constant displacement pump, it maintains a constant flow rate. The constant displacement pump, it maintains a constant flow rate through a column. That means the solvent is passing with a constant flow rate through the column of HPLC whenever you are using the constant displacement pump. Then in this case, constant displacement pump, a fixed volume of the solvent is forced at a one time in the pump. So in this case, that is second category, that is constant displacement pump, the constant flow rate is maintained. Then you are passing the solvent by using a constant flow rate through a column, and a fixed or definite volume of the solvent is passed through the column at one time by using the constant displacement pump. Now the third category of the pump which we are using in HPLC is the reciprocating type of pump. In case of reciprocating type of pump, the single-headed as well as double-headed, these are the two types of the reciprocating type of pump. Here in this case, a single-headed piston is used in case of single-headed type of reciprocating type of a pump, and in this case a double-headed piston is used, and there is one inlet for the solvent and there is one outlet for the solvent in case of reciprocating type of pumps. Diagrammatically, we can represent a single-headed type of pump in this way. If you consider this as a pump chamber, and it is a single-headed piston. This one is the inlet for the solvent, and this one is the outlet for the solvent. So your solvent, it comes inside by using the inlet, and then your solvent, it comes out from the outlet. This is about the single-headed type of pump. Now in case of double-headed type of pump, instead of single-headed piston, we are using here the double-headed piston. So this is the representation for the double-headed type of a piston. Here two double heads are used. There is one inlet for the solvent and there is one outlet for the solvent. Whole this assembly is placed with the pumping chamber. So this is the diagrammatic representation of the single-headed as well as the double-headed reciprocating type of pump. Now in the reciprocating type of pump, again you are using a controlled flow rate of the solvent. Here in case of reciprocating type of pump, you are using a controlled flow rate of a solvent. So this is the main characteristic feature of reciprocating type of pump. Now this type of pump works up to the 7250 spice pressure. So up to such a high condition, the reciprocating type of pump works. Now in case of pumping system, what is the most necessary thing? That is your pump, it can withstand the high pressure condition. This is the first prerequisite condition for operating the pumps, because the whole analysis you are carrying out by using the higher pressure. So normally in case of pumping system, we are manufacturing the pumps which can withstand with a temperature with a pressure range up to 3.2 into 10 raised to 7 Pascal. Up to such a high pressure range, normally the pumping system works. Now after this, the another most important part in case of all types of pumps is that the pumping material is generally made up of stainless steel or the material which is chemically inert to the mobile phase or a solvent. If your material it reacts with the mobile phase or the solvent or your sample material, then there will be extra peaks in the well developed chromatogram, and extra peaks leads to the impurity peak. So the pumping material, it should withstand the high pressure condition. This is the first requirement for the pumping material, and the second one is that your pumping material, it should be chemically inert one, or it should not react with your sample or your mobile phase. Now in reciprocating type of pump, single headed piston pump and double headed piston type of pump, these are the two types of pumps. Now the fourth type of pump that we are going to study is the syringe pump. Syringe pump, as the name indicates, here you are using a syringe for the injection of the solvent inside the column of HPLC. In this type of pump, what is the necessary condition? That is, in the syringe pump, the pump is placed inside the collapsible container. Inside the collapsible container, and this syringe type of pump, it is also known as the constant volume pump. Why it is known as a constant volume pump? Because every time a constant volume of the solvent is inserted inside the column by using the syringe pump. So the syringe pump, which is also known as the constant volume pump, every time a fixed volume of the solvent is injected inside the pump in case of syringe pump. Now the next type of pump is the pneumatic pump. In case of the pneumatic pump, it consists of a mobile phase which is contained in a collapsible container. So in case of pneumatic pump, the mobile phase is placed inside the collapsible container. So this is about the pneumatic pump, and in this case you are considering the viscosity of a solvent, as well as you are maintaining the column back pressure. So these are the 5 different types of pumps which are used in the HPLC. So normally the pumps which are used, they work in between the pressure range of 400 to 1500 SPI. This is the pressure range in which all types of the pumps they can work. So in case of HPLC, what we can say in nutshell, that pumping system is the most important and crucial part of HPLC. The advanced chromatographic technique of HPLC is developed on the basis of high pressure pump. Now basically there are 5 types of pumps that we are using. The first one is the constant pressure pump, second one is the constant displacement pump, then third one is the reciprocating type of pump, then the fourth one is the syringe type of pump, and the fifth one is the pneumatic type of pump. So this is all about the different types of pumps or the pumping system which is used in HPLC. Now the next is the different types of sample injection systems or the sample injection units that we are using in HPLC. Okay, so sample injection in HPLC is the most important thing, because as all of you know that HPLC, it is highly sensitive technique. Therefore, very small quantity of a sample is required. The sample which we are using in HPLC, it must be highly pure. The samples which is commercially available for the HPLC analysis, we call it as HPLC grade solvents or the HPLC grade mobile phases. Now the sample should be extra pure. Before passing your sample or before injecting your sample inside the HPLC column, there is a use of filters. Filters are there for the purification of your sample, and after passing through the filter or after doing the process of filtration, then your solvent is injected inside the column of HPLC. Now what are the different ways to inject your sample inside the HPLC? The first one is the syringe type of sample injection or syringe sample injection. So in case of a syringe sample injection, it is similar to the use of micro syringe that we are doing in our gas chromatography. So here you are using simply a micro syringe. This micro syringe is provided with a needle, and after using this micro syringe which is provided with a needle, it is having a septum. That is, a micro syringe is having a needle, it is injected inside the column by using the septum, and a very small quantity is required by using the syringe sample injection. Now the second one is known as the septumless injection. Some injection systems are there in HPLC when we are not using the septum while injecting the sample inside the column. Here there is an absence of septum. Hence, in that case, you are passing your sample or you are injecting your sample directly inside the column. So, the amount of sample is taken inside the syringe and then it is directly inserted inside the column without the use of a septum, and therefore the name given is the septumless injection port. Now, the third type of the injection unit is the microwave used valves. Microwave used valves, which are used in the sample injection unit in the HPLC. Here, instead of using the syringe or a septum, you are using the valves. Why you are using the valves? Here you are using the valves for the sample injection. So these are the three different types of the sample injection unit that we are studying in HPLC. So as far as the complete instrumentation of the HPLC is concerned, the first one that we have started with the column and the column packing procedure. Then the second one, we have discussed the different types of detectors which are used in HPLC. Then the third most important thing is the use of different types of pumps and the pumping system, and we have ended with the different types of sample injection units that are used in HPLC. So this is overall the instrumentation of HPLC. Apart from the instrumentation, the different types of solvent properties and what are the prerequisite condition to use the solvent as a mobile phase in the HPLC, this is the part that we have to discuss in our next lecture. Thank you.